You do not want to be an entrepreneur. Yes, I've said it. Yeah, it's truth. And before you click off this video and before you assume that this is just another anti-dream speech, I want you to relax. Okay? This is probably one of the most honest conversations you are going to hear about entrepreneurship today. Because as an entrepreneur, somewhere along the way, entrepreneurship starts to get romanticized. Um, you know, probably heard it a lot. Be your own boss, make your own schedule, unlimited income, 100% freedom. And it sounds fun, it sounds beautiful, it's so exciting. But what people don't really tell you is what the freedom is going to cost. The truth is, when you become your own boss, there's no one who's going to come save you. No one. You are your only lifeline. No one is going to yell at you when you procrastinate. And you're going to realize the importance of, someone yelling at you when you start to notice that you are not getting anywhere. No one is going to write you up when your discipline is slacking and slipping. And no one is going to tell you to wake up early. And at first, it's amazing. It's fun. No one's telling you what to do, right? You make all your decisions. That is until you realize that you kind of have to become the person who holds yourself accountable if you want to maintain that kind of life. And let me tell you, that is much harder than having a boss. Because like when things get hard, and they will, you're going to start feeling something that most people, some things that most people don't talk about. And at the very top of the list is you're going to want your old life back. You're going to want the structure, the predictability, all the guaranteed monthly paycheck. Because even if it's the life it's not your dream life, at least, it's keeping you alive, it's sustainable. Even when, being told, like you have someone who tells you what to do, that lifestyle is going to start to feel way easier than having to figure everything out alone. But something that a lot of people mistake is that entrepreneurship it's not just a career path, okay? It's a psychological test. It's a psychological test. So a little backstory. When I first discovered entrepreneurship was when it was probably in 2012 to 2013, somewhere around there. I was excited, and maybe a little bit obsessed even, and I really wanted to become this person that that I haven't grown into yet. And I remember at some point, when like I was trying to have like second thoughts, like rethinking this stuff. My dad asked me a question. He asked me, "Have you ever sold something before? Anything?" And I thought about it, and a memory suddenly hit me. And I remember I used to draw in school. Okay, and one day, I just made this painting for fun, and my classmate just slapped a couple dollars on it, and it really stuck with me because that's never happened to me before. And then he told me, "Then you are already an entrepreneur. If you have sold anything in your life, you are already an entrepreneur." And I wanted to believe him. I really did. But reality has a way of testing your faith. Because believing you are something and continue to believe it when the results aren't showing is like having your life having a life where constant bad things are happening to you and trying to believe in God. It is very hard. And unless you make yourself delusional, um, it is the only way. And usually, these are two different battles. And usually, that battle of believing in something when the results aren't showing up is a quiet battle that is usually fought alone. And it can be very lonely and hard. So let me be real with you, okay? Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. And that's okay. Yeah, that's very okay. That's 100% a-okay. Okay? Anyone can become an entrepreneur. Can. Okay? There is a possibility. But not everyone is built to endure the sacrifices that come with it. It's just not for them. Everyone has their path in life. Everyone has a choice. Some people are meant to be incredible doctors. We need these people. There's a lot of sick people in the world, a lot of people getting injured and hurt. That in itself is an important role. Some people are meant to lead nations. Some people are simply meant to build families. Some people are meant to change communities. Like every person has their path in life. You know, has their role, has their purpose. Everyone has like in their everyone can in their own little way change the world. There is no hierarchy in purpose, okay? Choosing a different path is not a failure, okay? But forcing a path that was never yours, that is where people tend to lose themselves. Every great person in history that you admire today started in a place not so pretty. Not saying like they were all poor or anything. Maybe some of them were, but not all of them. But it was not a glamorous start. It was not very impressive. It was not viral. Actually, it was crazy. Okay? It looked crazy. The beginning of greatness often looks like delusion to outsiders. And most people who were geniuses were once called crazy. And why is that? Well, because choosing a difficult road is always going to look irrational to others. Okay, to people who have never walked it. So if you are in a season where nothing is working, where your channel isn't growing, where the business feels stuck, and I'm speaking from someone who is like standing in that position now, you are not broken. You are just early. Okay? You are way ahead of the evolution of your environment and circumstance. But let me say this clearly for the ones who know deep down that this is their path. It is worth it, okay? Even when you can't see the progress, even when the numbers do not reflect all the efforts, even when you are questioning yourself over and over, if your resolve is strong, if it's strong enough, this journey will shape you into someone most people never become. And I'm not talking about just successful or like filthy rich or like aesthetically famous. No, more resilient, self aware, and dangerously disciplined. Entrepreneurship is something that builds a person before it builds their future. So, back to the question, why do you not want to become to be an entrepreneur? It is because it demands a lot of things from you. It demands everything from you. Your comfort, your ego, your patience, your identity. And if hearing all of this makes you hesitate, good, maybe that's a sign. Okay? You should hesitate before, choosing a hard life. But what I want to tell you is that, like, whatever life you choose, it's going to be hard, okay? Um it's just hard in a different way. You just got to pick your hard. But if hearing all of this lights something inside of you instead, you might already be exactly where you need to be. And if you realize that this path isn't yours, that is not a weakness. But let me leave you with this. You are not just an entrepreneur. You are not defined by a title, okay? You as you are a great person and you are meant for great things. Whether it's becoming an entrepreneur, it's what it becomes entrepreneurship or something entirely different. Okay. Greatness is not a label. Is not the label. It's the courage to choose the life that is truly yours. So choose wisely.